What is going on, guys, and welcome to a brand new video. Today we're going to be breaking down the MEEPO versus PUCK matchup, and this is a very fun matchup to be covering, as this is one of the few matchups in the mid lane that is actually just very farm heavy. They don't really pose much kill threat to each other unless MEEPO hits his level 4 power spike. Then he definitely poses some threat onto the PUCK, but in general the PUCK shouldn't be able to kill the MEEPO unless he's just really bad and is constantly out of position, going for the wrong last hits and just not pressuring the PUCK enough. But PUCK is a low armor hero, so MEEPO can definitely take advantage of that, and with Ransack he can do a lot of physical damage to the PUCK, and it's something PUCK definitely needs to be very careful, as once the MEEPO hits level 4 he gets that extra MEEPO. Assuming you go for the 1-1-1 build, you are almost for sure going to kill the PUCK. It just depends on how you've prepped the kill. That is one of the things I learned while playing MEEPO, is you have to prep the kill for that level 4 power spike. That's when you're going to do the most absolute amount of damage, because you're going to have that extra MEEPO. It's going to be the extra net and just overall that extra power spike. It's one of the most important things you need to learn in the laning phase of MEEPO, is to be able to prep the kill for that level 4. If it's not a kill you're going to get, even if you prep it, then definitely don't stress too much about it. But a hero like PUCK can definitely die to MEEPO at level 4, so you can definitely push your power spike to its absolute limits and definitely prep the kill as much as you can. Even if you have to trade out some regen, you can always ship out a salve in preparation for that, if you're going to be trading a lot of hits with the PUCK in preparation for that level 4 timing for you to be able to kill him. One thing PUCK can definitely do is silence him so he doesn't get all his spells off and he's not able to just net off cooldown and be able to poof all the time. So you can definitely do that as well, but PUCKs don't tend to pick the silence early on. They would rather max out orbs so they can farm and also do a lot of damage in the team fights, as that orb is one of the best abilities PUCK has. With one of his escape tools, it's definitely very important to max out that ability. One of the reasons why PUCK does very well in terms of this matchup is because you get to ignore the MEEPO. You know the MEEPO is going to be farming constantly. You know he's going to be pushing in the mid lane and going back to the jungle. He doesn't really pose that much of a threat onto the sidelines unless it's an absolute free MEEPO game that he can just do whatever he wants. Otherwise, he's going to be just AFK farming in the jungle. Maybe he'll show up to a fight here and there if he sees that it's going to be a free win for him, but overall he's going to be pushing in the mid lane, going in for the side camps and getting as much farm as possible so he can snowball this game out of control, and he's going to be able to win and take over the game nice and early. But the PUCK can definitely push a lot faster tempo than the MEEPO ever will, especially in the early game. After MEEPO gets his items, he gets his Blink Dagger, he gets his Dragon Lance, or even going for the Mega MEEPO or the Scotty, then that's where PUCK starts having a really big issue dealing with the MEEPO, as there's more nets, there's a lot more pure burst damage coming in from max poof, and there's going to be that Blink Dagger potential for you to be able to get caught off guard, which is a really big problem for the PUCK to get away from. So you need to definitely take advantage that the MEEPO is going to be farming and try and gank him with your team and try and slow down his timings as much as possible. And if you can't do that, then definitely just pressure the side lanes. Don't just stay in the mid lane doing absolutely nothing. Push out the mid lane, go for a gank, and then continue to keep pushing the mid lane. Otherwise, the MEEPO is going to definitely take your tower at 6 to 7 minutes. Pre 10 minutes is a really big problem for the PUCK to not have a mid tower. You lose a lot of map control to the MEEPO, and if it's a free MEEPO game, he can just take over your jungle. That's a really big problem because your carry relies on that jungle to be a nice safe spot for him to farm. So don't let the MEEPO take over the game. Push the mid lane. You can get items like Yule Scepter, which are going to help you with the nets. You can definitely do things like that. You can get a Blink Dagger to try and get away from the initiation. You can play with a Lotus Orb that your team can definitely build for you. There's a lot of things the PUCK can definitely do, but it's not a matchup you're very favored in, as you tend to not be able to have enough damage to burst the MEEPO. It's super tanky, especially with the Scotty Dragonlance build. MEEPO is just very tanky, and even if you gank him, you might not be able to kill him. So you definitely need to make sure you're building items like Vessel to be able to counter the MEEPO, and definitely put a lot of priority on countering a hero like this, because the higher MMR you go, the higher chances you are of running into a really good MEEPO player or a MEEPO spammer who is just very good at the hero. He can definitely take huge advantage of his power spikes and be able to take over the game, like PUCK can definitely not do that. Maybe in the 40 to 50 minute mark, where the PUCK has a lot of items and is able to do a lot more damage, you can definitely go and start picking off the MEEPO, but that's definitely not a timing MEEPO players are going for. They're looking for taking over the game by 25-30 minutes, ending the game completely, and there's really not much the PUCK can do about it. So you definitely need to make some space with your team and shut down other heroes around the map if you can't shut down the MEEPO because you don't have the right heroes or you don't have the right lockdown for it. You can also build items that are very good against the MEEPO. You're definitely not a Vessel buyer, but you can definitely just get yourself yourself a BKB. You can get yourself a Witchblade, which does really good damage to MEEPO. Anything that's really magic damage is going to be good against MEEPO because MEEPO has a lot of armor. He's going to have a lot of stats and he's going to be a very tanky hero. So anything you can cut down that regen with, especially going for items like Vessel, they are very important. Vessel, Shivas, these types of items that reduce regen is always very important to go up against the MEEPO, as that's what keeps him alive in the team fights. Dig is something you can't really avoid from the MEEPO, and it's something MEEPO players should be buying against Puck, as you're going to be able to kite him out. You're going to be able to get away from their huge initiation, and the Mega MEEPO is just overall one of the best abilities MEEPO has. Definitely highly recommend getting the Aghanim Scepter. I wouldn't get it first like people were getting it before, but I would definitely keep it in mind as your third item at least after your Treads, your Blink Dagger, and your Dragonlance. So third to fourth item, you can definitely go for the Mega MEEPO and then the Shard for Dig. They're both very good abilities, going to keep you very nice and healthy for the team fights. Even if you're playing up against counters like Earthshaker, Necrophos, those counters are not going to do so much to you because you're going to be able to get away from their big team fight initiation, and you're going to be able to dodge a lot of spells. You can dodge Reaper Scythe with Mega MEEPO. It's not going to kill you, so you're going to definitely be a lot better off in this matchup. MEEPO is a hero that will always be in the meta, not only for Smurfs. It's going to be a hero that's going to be a free MEEPO game. He's going to feel like a very broken hero, and Puck is just not a hero that's going to be able to stop him from doing that. So you definitely need to do everything in your power to keep the MEEPO under control with your team if you want to win this matchup, because in the laning phase, like I mentioned, Puck doesn't really have a lot of kill threat onto the MEEPO. MEEPO definitely does once he hits his level 4. That's when he's going to start playing a lot more aggressive, and even if he can't kill you, he's going to be zoning you out. He's going to be doing whatever he wants on the map because he's going to get a lot more farm than you, and whenever he feels like he can rotate, he will get a lot better rotations done than the Puck will, just because of the nature of MEEPO with Poof and with Nets, and he can still keep farming with one of the MEEPOs. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. A like would be much appreciated. Let me know in the comment section below if you guys have ever played the MEEPO versus Puck matchup. I definitely think this is very MEEPO favored. It's one of the most traditional counters to the Puck other than Lone Druid. Lone Druid is also another very good counter to the Puck, so definitely keep in mind and let your team know that they need to build items like Solar Crest and Vessel and Force Staffs to be able to keep you safe from the MEEPO initiation. You definitely need to always keep that in mind. Don't let the MEEPO snowball, otherwise you are pretty much going to lose the game if it's a free MEEPO game. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. A like would be much appreciated. I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.